Looking to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Caraba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980-8483, 340-9400, or 635-9906.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another edition of COVID-19 Daily Update. Today, our main topic of discussion is effect of estate development on our remaining forest cover. Today, I was expecting two guests, that is Farmer Drame and Umar, all environmentalists by training and also by passion. So, but before that, as usual, we are in the middle of a pandemic. I will give you, I will give you the statistic for COVID-19. So far, so good. And after, maybe continue to play this video until these people turn on. They are pretty late, that's 10 minutes, so in fact I'm beginning to lose confidence. But at the same time, I'll continue anyway, whatever happens if they turn about that. COVID-19, as you all aware, started towards the end of December 2019 in Wuhan City, Hubei province is in China. And so far, 4,230,970 people got infected, and 285,464 deaths. And so far, 1,516,000 people recovered, and 1,516,663 recovered from the illness. And out of the infected, currently we have 2,424,843 infected cases, and 2,381,850 in mild conditions. By that I mean these people, they tested positive, but still they are not bedridden with the illness. In fact, some of them didn't even know they have the virus. That means they are not showing any sign of symptoms. But the other mild conditions include fever, headache, persistent cough, and also in some instances diarrhea, and also in some instances um, loss of sense of smell and also taste. Currently, 46,993 are in serious or critical condition, and by that I mean these are the ill people who need hospitalization, and not only hospitalization, but they need intensive care beds. Because COVID-19, as you all are aware, it at the upper respiratory tract, then it goes down to the lower respiratory tract, that is the lungs. And once in the lungs, because there is so many receptors or entry point for COVID-19 in the lungs, it overwhelms the lungs and damage it. And as that happens, the oxygen level in your body started dwindling. And as that continued, your vital organs like the kidney, like the liver and the brain started damaging, and that's how we kill people. So once in the intensive care, what they do, they will put you on mechanic ventilators or respirators to help you get the oxygen saturation, healthy oxygen saturation in your body. And also, even if you are as ill as what, you still need that energy. So they will also give them drips of glucose and also water. So just to help, your body to support life. So I'm going to give you the top 10 most affected countries in the world since the pandemic started. And on top of that chart is US. Past 24 hours, US recorded 7,763 new cases and 354 deaths. Spain registered 3,480 new cases, 123 dead, and UK recorded 3,873 77 new cases and 210 deaths. Russia, for almost 10 days in a row now, they registered over 10,000. In the past 24 hours, they recorded 11,656 new cases and 94 deaths. Italy recorded 744 and 179 dead. And Germany recorded 120 new cases, no death recorded. And in Brazil, 811 new cases, 84 dead. And Turkey registered 1,114 new cases and 55 dead. And Iran recorded 1,683 new cases and 45 dead. So coming to the countries that are very, very close to the Gambia, Senegal so far recorded 1,886 cases so far, and past 24 hours they recorded 177 new cases. Guinea-Conakry, which is the highest now in our part of the world, recorded 2,141 cases so far. Ivory Coast, 1,700 cases so far. And Mali, another worrying spot, who have been to the polls recently, just like Guinea-Conakry, the numbers are increasing. But in the past 24 hours, they recorded 8 new cases, but total so far 712 cases. Sierra Leone recorded 338 cases and 31 new cases. And Burkina Faso 751 cases so far, and Gambia 20. So those are the numbers very close to us. They say as long as the cause is there, the effect is inevitable. So Gambia, what we can do is to continue to observe these social distancing. That's the only way out, because once it's in our countries, I forgot to mention Guinea-Bissau so far recorded 226. This another country, the numbers are going up. In fact, it just overtake Mali, which is very, very worrying. So our topic today is effect of estate agents or housing development on our remaining forest covers. Right now, the remaining forest covers in the Combos are under serious, serious threat from estate developers, and also I have to admit, and also willing sellers. The landowners, everybody is going to make profit out of their lands, and they don't care if these are community forests or not. People are just running to make money out of these remaining forest covers. So that's why we have to be very, very, very vigilant. Yeah, we have to remain very, very, very vigilant, because just as our lungs are important to us, that's how forest covers are important to the world or to the earth. In fact, forest covers act as the lungs of um, the, the, the earth. You look at COVID-19, it attacks the lungs, and once the lungs is damaged, the rest of the body vital organs follow anyone eventually die. So the same is true for the forest covers, because it's the forest cover that will increase the oxygen level of the atmosphere and also reduce the CO2. And we all know the effect of CO2. It makes the world hotter. It make it less habitable, and a lot of things. It's also make the wildlife to lose their homes. The problems, we can name it. I don't know up to when. So this is a very, very worrying times for anybody who is concerned, and it should be for everybody anyway, because environment is everybody's business. It's not that when the earth gets hotter, only those who are destroying the forest will suffer. No, it's everybody. So that's why it's everybody's business. Okay, I'm going to read some statistics for you, like places like US. This is not a problem. You go to Europe, it's not a problem, and that's why they have rain almost 24/7, 365 days in a year. Part of Europe, so that's not a big problem. But why do we need forests? Beside they make the world habitable, they counterbalance the greenhouse buildup, and they also control our climates. But also the benefit of forests include food. We get food from the forest. Gambia, if you say forest, all people think about is the kaba and the foliage and all that, but there is more to it. The honey, all these come from the forest. Without forest, there would be no honey. And also food and wood fiber. Gambia steel, which is also contributing to this menace, is the over dependence of the Gambian people on firewood, as a source of fuel. These have to change, and it can be changed easily because Senegal and Mauritania are sitting on tons of these gases. And they're not being mean to the Gambian. In fact, they are selling these gas to the Gambian government on subsidies. But curiously enough, the Gambian government is selling to the Gambian people on profits. So if our government is serious about mitigating the effect of climate change, they should, at least subsidize. If Senegal subsidizes it, then they should also subsidize to the Gambian people so that it can be widely available. If there is an option, nobody is going to use firewood because firewood is inconvenient, and it's slow burning and it's time consuming, smoky and all that. Which these gas come very very handy and clean, and also not very smoky. So once you introduce the local to it, even though there are some safety concern associated, I can tell you these butane gases are more safer than the firewood we use. Okay. So yes, forest covers provide us with the wood fiber and also critical services such as air and water purifications. You will not believe places where there is no forest cover, the water is not pure and it's all sandy and all that. So forest cover also involved in water purifications and flood and climate regulations. We've seen places where there was a forest cover and it is destroyed, and the hilly parts. We see part of chunk of the earth will fall down after a very heavy rainfall. We've seen this 2 years ago in Sierra Leone when one of these hilly areas called Sugarloaf, just cave in, and cover the entire neighborhood with mud, and a lot of people lost their life. So forests are very, very important. They stop water erosion and all that. Okay, farmer.
Yes, Ahmed, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. So farmer, if you put your phone the other way around, that will be brilliant.
Okay, do I have to go out and come back in, or?
Um, yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, Jamie, so you can play this video. Yeah, so yeah, it's okay, no
I
problem.
I'll
Um,
exit and come back.
okay, okay. So that's farmer. So I will continue reading until farmer sort that out. So, importance of forest, I was reading to you. We have wildlife. It provides home for wildlife and also open space and opportunity for outdoor recreations. These are very, very important. Yeah, yeah. So, Yeah, so these are very, very important forest cover. But recently, we've seen in the Gambia, lot of estate agents are coming with it's not big money, but you know these farmers, if you come and give them of say 20,000, you know, yeah, farmer, that's fine, no problem.
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah, that's better. So what I'm going to do,
Mm-hmm.
Omar is little bit later as well. I'm going to play a short video about sand mining, the drone footage of sand mining,
Okay.
and we watch together. Then after we can go. So Jam, if you can start this for me, that will be good. Farmer, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, so this is a drone footage of sand mining. You know, see it for yourself. You are more experienced.
Wow.
You know the dangers we are facing. You know, this is Gunjur, and it was taken by a professional actually on United Nations mission, but something terrible happened. You know, the project never continued. You know, you will see the distance between the actual sea now, just the last dome.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was forested area. You have these tambas before and the palm
Yes.
trees and everything. This is where we used to go and hunt for squirrels and rabbits, you know, but you can see
Mm-hmm.
it's all gone. And these are women's furrows, you know, vegetable gardens, you know. So just unbelievable. So you see the last dawn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now when they come on over the weekends, if nobody is watching, this is where they go and start stealing. You know,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
you see the distance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've seen along the when Gunjur Beach fish landing side how the sea is coming aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
So if we
Yeah.
should experience similar thing to this, all these places will be covered with salt water, and that could affect the water level, the fresh water level
Yeah.
of the community. You see the distance, less than 10 meters, some
Mm-hmm.
places. So you see that where this gap between the sea and the pitch, the water level is falling underneath this. So you see some places these vegetations are drying because there is no water. All the
Mm-hmm.
water run to the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see they are dry. You know.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, you see the water. How is it coming this
Y-
place? I'm not sure if you German. You
Yes.
see
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just unbelievable. This is a Binam Bolom between Gunjur and Sanyang. You know, it was a beautiful place for bird watching and also, you know, you see the lonely palm trees.
So
You
that
know,
bolong has been there since, right? Ever since.
no, it's been there since. Yeah, it's been there since.
Mm.
It's been there since. You know, so this was taken over a year or so ago, and still the same place has been mined. They will go, come back, and start scraping again. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I think Jame, that give a farmer a better idea. We can proceed. You know, yeah, farmer. So you've seen that for yourself. What's
Yeah.
what's what's your take on that before we go to the effect of estate agents on our lands?
Yeah. I mean, thank you so much. Sorry for coming late. I'm also closing from work right now. I
No
thought I would
problem.
be at home by the time the program starts, but it
Yeah.
looks like I'm running a little bit late.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I say let me just come in and then just have to contribute my ideas and contribute to the program as usual.
Yeah, I
So
appreciate it.
those drone footages is absolutely crazy. It's crazy,
Yeah.
Ahmed.
Yeah.
We all from Combo. We all know how the coast used to be like,
Yeah.
before, and then also personally, professionally, this was my job when I was working at the National Environment Agency
Yeah.
as a program officer for coastal and marine. This is part of my job to go around along the coastline, the entire coastline from Bunyadu all the way down to Khartoum. To look at how coastal erosion is affecting our coastline. So some of these areas where they are mining right now, we actually even put some demarcation line
Yeah.
from the high water mark to that to the peg. We have some pegs along the
Yeah.
coastline, so we
Yeah.
periodically go there and measure the length from the peg or from the pole to the high water mark. So we usually take data at least once every month just to know how the area is eroding, and then if there is necessary that the government needs to take any steps, we can know what to do. But then, seeing what is happening right now, it is unbelievable. It looks like people, our institutions, are not following the regulation, especially the geology department. Of course, according to the Mining and Quarry Act, all mineral resources in the Gambia belongs to the geology department. So they have the right, they have the mandate, to oversee all mineral resources in our country. But of course, if they are, we all know mining is obviously going to have a negative impact as well as a positive impact on the environment. So according to our National Environment Management Act, geology cannot do anything without taking permission from the National Environment Agency. So if one sand mining area is completed, for example, and then they are moving into a new area, in that process, geology should be able to inform the National Environment Agency, say that maybe Kachume is finished, the sand dunes in Kachume is finished. Now we are moving towards, Khartoum, for example. If they identify any other area that is going to be the next mining area, what geology have to do is to inform the National Environment Agency in writing that we have identified a new sand mining area, and maybe in the next couple of months, we'll be moving up to that area, or even the next 3 months, because it should be a long notice actually. So when that process is done, what the National Environment Agency is going to do is to conduct a field visit to the area, to determine the area, the suitability of the area first, and then if necessary, and then obviously the mining is going to have an impact on the environment. So the National Environment Agency, what they're going to do is, because NEA is of course an institution that coordinates all environmental issues in the country, but we don't actually take decisions by ourselves. Okay, what we normally do is we use a national platform. In this case, when it comes to mining, we have what we call the National Environmental Assessment Working Group. This working group consists of various government institutions. Department of Fisheries is a member in that committee. Department of Parks and Wildlife is a member in that committee. The Gambia Tourism Board is a member in that committee. Physical Planning is a member in that committee. Lands and Survey is a member in that committee. And we also even have the Gambian Navy as a member of that committee. And of course, we also have State House, is a member of that committee, or Office of the President,
President,
because
yeah.
by virtue of the fact that the President of the Republic is the chairman of the National Environment Management Council. So whatever NEA does, one should be relayed to the Office of the President, which we usually copy them
Yeah.
in all correspondence related
Mm.
to
Yeah,
issues
he
like
just,
that. So
yeah,
now it is that
yeah, go ahead, carry on.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, carry on, carry on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Maybe it's the yeah. So it is that. So it is that national working group and environmental impact assessment working group that will conduct an assessment in that area. And when they go to that area, all of these key institutions that are member of the national EIA working group, they all at how mining is going to impact their various sectors. Say, for example, the parks and wildlife can say, okay, this area, particular area, or this particular modern nesting area that are, laying their eggs in Combo South,
Mm,
because we all know now
mm,
the turtles breeding program are all happening
yeah,
in Combo. Because most part of the area, the sand
yeah,
dunes are already gone. In
gone, yeah.
Gunjur and in Burfoot, where
Mm,
the turtle used to lay laying eggs anymore.
mm.
You know, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Carry on, carry on.
I know, it's fluctuating.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the purpose of those institutions participating in the field studies or
Mm,
site visits of any sand mining area is because all
mm,
at stake in that area, we'll be looking at the trees that are found in that mining area, whether taken out when mining in the area, or
mm,
they what kind of trees are going to remain in the sand mining area, so that at the end of the sand mining area, we can hold the geologists responsible. Here, 150 trees here. After your mining, you have cut down maybe half of the trees found in the area. Therefore, geology has to find a way to
mm,
compensate for the damage that has been done in the area. Then
yeah.
the wildlife department can also say the sand dunes are very important for the turtle nesting areas. So if we remove the
Mm,
sand dunes, our turtles will not have anywhere to lay eggs, during nesting period. So the parks and wildlife will bring that into issue. The Department of Fisheries will look into whether that particular juvenile fish at the stocks, whether they for landing or any other purposes. They will also look into that. They will also look like the river or the balloon, the river we have just seen flowing in that area,
mm,
because all of those rivers and the lagoons, they have a very important role in fisheries,
mm,
because some
yeah.
of those ponds and lagoons are used for fish, meaning that the fish, they come from the ocean and they lay eggs in the rivers and the lagoons. When those eggs are, the small juvenile fish are mature, then they can swim back into the ocean. So now the fisheries will also look into how we remove those lagoons. How is it going to affect the river flowing in the area? So all of those
Mm,
institutions will look at their various mandates and see it's going to impact on that. Just to make it short, they also can say, well, maybe we have some plan here to develop some hotels or maybe eco lodges, whatever. So Gambia Tourism Board will also look at the mining side in line with their tourism plan. So you see, so now at the end of the field visit, all these institutions will make a recommendation that if we have to really have to mine this area, maybe we have no other area, or maybe we just need to utilize those resources because the government wants to utilize it
mm,
for construction, which everybody needs for. We need to come up with mitigation measures, you
yeah.
know, which the EIA is going to actually going to put into consideration, environmental aspect of it. But also in the social aspect, what the EIA does is we are going to consult the people of Gunjur and
Mm,
say geology has made an application to
mm,
make a mining in this
yeah.
particular area.
Yeah.
And now we know that as this place is in Gunjur, and we
Yeah.
know that the people are using this area for
Mm,
farming and agricultural purposes, for gardening,
yeah.
vegetable gardening.
Yeah.
So if the area is going to have an impact on
Mm.
women vegetable garden, that
Mm.
will operation.
Yeah.
We'll have to know how many women are farming in the area,
Yeah.
how many vegetable gardens are going to be affected by the mining. So all of that has to put into consideration. So we need to
Yeah.
also
Farmer.
hear from the Gunjur,
Just,
especially those
farmer.
communities. Yeah.
Yeah, just to let you know, all those things are not happening now. What is happening, you have these couple of geology agents on the ground. They will go to these family members, right, and who claim ownership to this place and just negotiate with them directly. They will pay them token amount and they will just go and carry on. So there's nothing like EIA. You know, there is nothing like EIA going on. It's just these couple of people. One of them is from Gunju, the other one is from Tujereng, and the other one is from Katong. That's the owner of the the company. But
Right.
this guy we know is directly linked to Dr.
So
Isatu Ture. So
that's the standard procedure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the standard procedure. So in there is no way that geology can go and mine in an area without getting environmental approval. So if
Mm,
they don't do that at all, and the National
mm,
Environment Agency is aware that geology has moved from one point to another point without informing them, EA has the power to stop geology from any mining activities unless and until they fulfill that environmental procedure. They fulfill those environmental standards. Because what the EIA does is it protects the environment, but it also protects the livelihood of the people in that particular environment where found. In this case, where the
yeah.
sand is found. The
Mm,
sand belongs to the government. The people of
yeah.
Gunjur cannot stop the geology department from mining the sand. But what the government, whatever the
Mm,
people of Gunjur are doing in that particular land before the mining take place will have to be considered by the geology
mm,
department. Either geology is directly involved in the mining, or they are giving that particular area for a company to mine
mm,
and pay royalties to
mm.
the government. So that will put into
Government.
consideration because in the environmental impact and social management plan, we will indicate
Mm,
that maybe farmers are going to be affected,
mm,
and these people are generating this amount of money from the
mm. Yeah, carry on.
vegetable garden every month or maybe
Mm,
yearly.
yeah.
That will be put into consideration.
Mm,
Then we'll also consider how many trees are going to be cut down, are going to be taken off.
yeah. Yeah.
Ahmed, I know I'm going. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I just want us to maybe switch to this issue with the estate agent for the next 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes. I know estate agents. These are serious issues. I think you've been following. Well, you've been following the discussion. Um, Hello. Yeah, you've been following the discussion in all forestry
Hello,
platforms.
Ahmed. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. So yeah, while this video going on, I want you to comment on
Yeah, you are breaking up. I can hear you very well.
okay. What about now? Hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yeah, you are breaking. You are breaking.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. Okay, let me review this one.
Let me come back.
Okay. Let's do that. So, guys, you can see it for yourself. This is what is happening. Just look at the distance between the water and the pit. Some places this is less than 10 meters and is supposed to be 150 meters from the high watermark. From the high watermark, but nobody is in charge here. So these people, they go at will, just to take this and just look at it. You know, and the sad part of it is it's dug so deep. It's supposed not to go beyond 2 meters, but in some places it's up to 8 meters deep. So you can see that even the vegetation that is left, because all the water draw back to the pit, that left nothing for these tree to survive on. So you can see they are all dying. These also provide another layer of protection, environmental protections to the communities. But now it's all going. Look at this. You know, Gambia is on a self-destruct path, and nothing can save us for ourselves. You know, I don't know. I don't have the technological know-how, but I'm not sure how we're going to get away, how we're going to rectify this situation, this environmental carnage. You know, for the past 5 years, we've been everywhere, radios, we've been to ministers' office. We called them, we took the environment minister, he was here, Lamin Diba, as soon as he came into office. And he promised big. But look what is happening. This is Mbinang. If you know Mbinang, yeah, this is Mbinang. You can see how close, you know, some of the river part is to the main pit. You know, all this river is going to be completely obliterated. It's just heartbreaking. You know, this is the situation we have. So this is everybody's business. This is about our present and our future. How long should we fold our hands, you know, on few selfish people destroyed for everybody? I can tell you this place is all now gone. You know, all these the past year of Sanyang now. You know, it's also unbelievable. You know, this is a situation, you know, we found ourselves in, we created for ourselves, because nobody, all these government officials, the environment minister, geology, they are, look at how dry this vegetation is. You know, how dry it is, because there is no water left underneath it. It's all run back into the pits. And you see how brown it is. It's all gone. It's all dry. So basically, the main team, I'm not sure if I'll get Farmer again. It seems he has a problem with the internet connection, but I'll give him another couple of minutes. But today we are here to discuss about the threat faced by the remaining forest covers in the combos from the estate agents. You know, my own clan, not excluded, recently they sold a large chunk of their land to TAF, you know, and also to I think global properties. I don't know what's the name. You know, the money on paper look good, but I know after a week or so, very few will have any very look at this, how these places are going. You know, almost 8 meters deep. You see. So it's very sad. Pamara, welcome back.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Yeah, I was discussing about the threat faced by our remaining forest covers in the
Okay,
combos. We have like 3 minutes, but I'll make it five. We have 3 minutes to round up, and you are part of the discussion in all forestry platform.
right.
And I think you've already signed the petition as well. But
Absolutely.
what do you think we can do now to save the remaining forest cover, especially in the phone, in the combos? Even though these estate agents, they are not only stopping at phones, you go even Basse, they are there, they are everywhere. So what can we do? You know, you are more familiar with these laws than me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a very sad situation as well. Because the community forests, especially the community forests, are the victims of this encroachment.
Yeah.
Because maybe some unscrupulous people within
Mm,
our kabilos or within our communities are
mm,
taking advantage of these areas
mm,
to engage the how do you call it, the real estate companies,
mm,
trying to sell them, these areas. So this is a very sad situation. But our strength here is, our power here is the law, because if we enforce the law, there is no way that these areas can be encroached upon, especially selling it to the real estate companies. Because
mm,
this is why we all need to ensure that the Forestry Act is enforced to the letter.
mm,
And also environmental procedures as well. Because even if these people are able to succeed in selling this land to real estate companies. They have to follow the environmental procedures as well, because every tree that is naturally grown belongs to the government. So you cannot cut down any tree without providing a compensation or following the right procedures. So now what we need to do is work with the Department of Forestry on this matter. I know we have three different categories of forests in the Gambia. We have the state forest, we have the community forest, and also the private forest. So in most of the cases, forestry tend to leave hold on a second, Amir, I'm just getting distracted here.
Sorry about the farmer. I will be back. It seems kids are trying to take over from him. So yeah, guys, please share these videos. So it can get to as many people as we can. We need to sensitize the general
Sorry,
populace.
Ahmed, that was a big noise coming over here this side.
No, no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah.
So the having known that we have the three categories of forest in the Gambia, the state forest park, the community forest, and the private forest. And then most of this encouragement, especially selling it to the private companies like real estate companies, is mainly the community forests that are more vulnerable, to such kind of illegal activity. Because one, either the community could be divided in terms of protecting the area, and then some will say, okay, let's protect it. Some will say, no, let us not protect, let's sell it. So this is where the problem lies. And this is why we need the intervention of Department of Forestry to help the communities in protecting this area. Because, of course, when it comes to the management, it's not directly the government that have a say. Both the government and the local communities have a say in managing community forests. But in most cases, some of these real estate companies are actually going through our communities, and they are engaging either alcalos and the VDCs or either Kabilo members. Those are the ones initiating all these activities, so that the real estate companies can have the chance to get it. So now our best bet is to enforce the law. Wherever we had similar situation happening, we just notify the company just to get more reliable information, so that when we go to the government level, we know what to say. We have clear information. But the Department of Forestry should be in the central, in the middle of all this fight. They should be able to collaborate with the local communities to ensure that these forests are protected. Because overall, the trees and the vegetation cover in our forestry covers also counts into our national total vegetation cover. So if we allow those areas to be demolished because they are only community forests, they are not state forests, then actually then we are actually contributing or helping destruction of our environment, which is absolutely going to be a big disaster, especially in the Combo areas in the West Coast region, where now our vegetation cover is actually declining very fast because of real estate companies that are infiltrating in our communities, giving money to our people in exchange of our natural resources. And in most cases, they clear this forest and they don't even compensate, because every tree you cut down, you should compensate it, and this should have to be through tree planting and other, environmental protection initiatives in the region. So, yeah, so those are some of the issues, Ahmed, that is unfortunately unfolding in our part of the country.
Yeah, it's sad. Unfortunately, we ran out of time.
Yeah.
We'll make a comment, and I'll give you time to make your final statement about the sand mining and also the forest. What I was telling people, if we compare the forest cover is the lungs of the earth, just
Yeah.
like how important our lungs are to us. We've seen how COVID-19, if you damage your lungs, how you struggle to keep alive. They have to put you on mechanical ventilators for able to sustain life. So our
Absolutely.
forest cover is exactly doing the same thing for the earth. they take in carbon dioxide, which contribute to greenhouse effects, and they give out oxygen, which we need to breathe and wildlife need to breathe, and it makes the earth habitable. So the more we cut these trees, the more the world become hotter, the more carbon dioxide buildup. So these affect our climate. It's undermine our global warming resilience. So
Yep.
these are some of the issues. If our environment minister is not even a scientist because he's aware of all this, in fact, in these particular places, he's been there himself physically when they come to office for the first time, and so he's seen it. But all protocol is lost here. Nothing is being followed. You have these people in the pit who are only interested the amount of sand they can sell per day, and also the locals. They will go to the locals who are now claiming. When we are kids, nobody knows who owns these places.
Mm-hmm.
You can see this particular picture how dark the topsoil is.
Yeah.
You can see they avoid it. These are women furrows, but these cannot be cultivated now.
Right.
you know,
Absolutely.
because whenever there is a rain, this place will all be covered and they cannot even access it. So this situation is very, very sad. And I don't know, to be honest, maybe you have an idea what we can do to stop this.
Yeah, actually,
No,
it's just to, again, just to enforce the law. The NEA should be able to hold geology responsible for all these damages because they have
yeah,
violated the Environmental Protection Act, the
mm,
NEMA Act, they violated it clearly. So whether they take permission or not, the NEA should be able to hold geology responsible to bring back that company, those are mining there, to
mm,
rehabilitate the area, plant
yeah,
more trees, bring the ecosystem down, especially where there are big, ditches and holes, bring them
mm,
back, fill them up, level the area so that we can at least
mm,
use the area again for agriculture or either tree
mm,
planting, like
mm,
Omar and the Eco Gambia. Is it Eco
mm.
Gambia? They did some
Yeah,
planting a couple of
eco
years ago
travel that, yeah.
of
Mm,
these tamba trees. So the
mm,
tamba trees can still do in this area very well. So I mean, these are some of the initiatives that the geology department should be able to put on these companies to pay back the environmental damage that they have done. And that can only happen if NEA hold geology responsible. And then
mm,
all those companies that we are mining there
mm,
without environmental approval will be asked to compensate. And then the people
mm,
of Gunjur also, the women that lost their garden, should be able to get compensated as well because now their livelihood is going to be destroyed. If their areas cannot be farmed anymore, then obviously those people will have no other option, livelihood alternatives anymore. So this means their families are going to be impacted by this change. So obviously, all of those should be put into consideration. They should be put into consideration, and the women should be compensated for the damage. You
mm.
see, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's all we can do. And I think then what we need to advocate for is for the mining activities, to be taken away from geology to go back to
yeah.
become an area council.
Thank
In
you.
that
Yeah.
way, and the communities will benefit because right now all the benefits from sand mining is going straight into the government, and then
Yeah.
nothing is coming back to Gunjur or to those communities that are affected by mining. So,
Mm,
but when the council actually controls mining, then we'll be able to sit with the council and then
yeah.
see how much of the percentage or the revenue they
Mm,
are getting goes back to the community
mm,
to develop the community, directly.
mm,
You understand? But now the government is getting more money and they're taking it away. We don't know how much is accrued and we don't know,
mm,
and they're not bringing anything back. Even all this
mm.
black sand mining happening in Sanyang, and then
Yeah.
we don't know where how much money is generated, and they are not
Yeah.
actually following the
Mm,
environmental procedures as well. So government
yeah.
is continuing getting a lot of money, but we don't know where the money goes. People in
Yes.
Combo South are suffering, you know. So we need to put government pressure on the government, to act responsibly when it comes to mining, and then of
Yeah.
course also our other strength is the politicians. In
Mm,
your case, which the majority leader is from Combo South, and
yeah.
in his campaign promise, he
Mm,
he promised the people of Combo South that he's going to fight environmental justice. So we also need to hold him accountable, for his campaign promises, because he cannot tell us that he didn't know what is going in happening in Gunjur in all this sign mining. He cannot say that he's not aware of what Golden Lead is doing in the Gunjur beach. He cannot tell me that he does not aware of what is happening in Sanyang and Katong. And all of these areas are in his constituency. So he should be able to know, why are these companies, operating, and if they are violating the laws, especially when you are hearing the outcries from your community, you should be able to defend your community, and then, defend their interests, because he's in an ideal position, to call the Minister of Environment to National Assembly, the Minister of Fisheries to National Assembly to explain. So that's another strength that we got there, that we have to utilize, when government fail to listen to us.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Farmer, those strengths are not being utilized, and in fact, the parliament, the head of the parliament, which is the majority leader, is seeing the environmentalists as enemies, calling them names. Once again, thank you very much, Farmer. Very signatures, you decided to come, and it's Ramadan. We really appreciate your time, and Gambians are grateful for your in-depth knowledge and your willingness to share your knowledge. We are very, very grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ahmed.
You're welcome. Thank you. So, guys, that we come to the end of this program. Again, I appeal to you to please share these videos. That's all you can do for us. And thanks for your time. Until we meet again tomorrow, inshallah, we'll continue these talks. So.
Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Kairaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980-8483, 340-9400 or 635-9906.